Hi everybody and good morning. My name is Mandy Cran and welcome to my weekly moment of reflection. So today we're going to talk about crossing oceans, because there does come a time when you have to stop crossing oceans for people who wouldn't even jump over a puddle for you. So today we're going to talk about the difference between an ocean and a puddle, and it may not be quite what you see. We'll come on to that in a second. So I've been doing these weekly moments of reflection for about 4 years, and my goal with them really is to help you see things in a slightly different way, to make you think a little bit more deeply about things, because sometimes we tend to go through life really doing everything as a habit, and 95% of what we do is actually just a habit. And actually what I'm trying sometimes to do is to break you out of that habit slightly and think, oh, well, actually, no, maybe I do see that in a different way. Maybe I understand better what that's about. Maybe I've slightly been a victim of that. So it's all about helping you to see the world differently, to help you get to a better place. So there's so many people that I see, particularly women, who never actually achieve the greatness that they could, for all sorts of reasons, only because of pressure from other people. And so if I can help them get to a better place and to feel that they've achieved more in life, then that's really what this is all about. As we go through, please do like it, share it, please. I've only just started doing these, so the more that you can share, I'll be really, really grateful. Obviously, ask questions too, is anything you're not quite sure about. I probably won't have the time to answer the questions actually in the middle of doing the tip, but I will certainly come back to you afterwards. So, what we're going to talk about today is crossing oceans. So, sometimes we cross oceans for people who jump over a puddle. So let's have a think about the difference between an ocean and a puddle. And you say, well, Mandy, it's obvious, it's a bigger bit of water. Well, yes, it is, but also no, it isn't. So let's think about actually what it takes to cross an ocean. And actually, I did this many years ago, so because I'm a keen sailor. So firstly, there's months and months in the planning. You have to decide where you're going to go. You've got to read up on the pilot books and think about the currents and the winds, decide which is going to be the best route to take. Because an ocean is a wide space. Just heading straight across it might not necessarily be the best answer. You've got to think about what weather patterns are going to be, how to avoid the storms if you possibly can, how to use the currents to your best advantage. Also think about rocks and islands and so on that might be on the way, how you get around those, because there are, even in the middle of an ocean, lots of rocks and volcanoes and things like that. So you need to do an awful lot of that planning. Then there's also the whole planning about what you're going to take with you, thinking about the food, how much water you're going to need, all the spares that you're going to need. Because once you're away from the coast, you can't just go to the local Halfords and pick up a spare. So you've got to have all of that on board. And of course, the boat is quite a small space. So you've got to think very carefully about how you store all of that so that you can get to it easily if you need to, and it's in the right order. Then you've got to think about looking at the weather charts and what prevalent winds are for that time of year, because again, it does change throughout the year. And again, you want to be making sure that you take a route that's going to make best advantage of the wind. You don't want to go across the wind against you the whole way. You'd much rather have it with you. And that makes a big, big difference to how you cross an ocean. Then if you have any crew, you've got to think about their needs as well. Things about the right clothing. You've got to have the right safety equipment, have it all checked, have it all tested, making sure that your navigation equipment is, again, tested and working efficiently, especially if you've got GPS and all those electronic things. Think about how you can actually, you need an awful lot of fuel and engine power to keep the electronics going. So there's a huge number of things you need to think about before you even leave the quayside. Once you leave the quayside and you set off, very, very quickly you're outside of land. And then suddenly you're in this big open space. There's no people, there's no traffic, there's no shops, there's nobody shouting at you, no bosses wanting work to be done. There's just you in this open space. And that's how it is for weeks. You might not even see another ship in those weeks. So if anything happens, you're completely on your own. If anything breaks, you have to fix it. If you get into bad weather, you've got to cope with it and deal with it. You have to make sure you ration your food and your water to make sure it lasts the whole way across. And you will inevitably, in that journey, which will take weeks, become a different person, because you'll have to develop your strength of mind and your willpower and your self-confidence and deal with situations that you might never ever thought you'd have to deal with. And then, of course, you get to the other side of the ocean and you come to a new coast, which you've never seen before, quite probably. So you've got to navigate your way through a coast you don't know, using the pilot books that you started off with, having studied them before you left. You then come to a new port, for example, and there's new people to meet, there's new cultures to learn about, there's new places to go and explore, and it's all completely different. And all of that will actually make you a different person too. So the real message is that what I really want to get across today is that crossing an ocean isn't just about crossing a bigger bit of water for somebody than them stepping over a puddle for you. It's actually a whole different thing again. You become a very much more different person, much more self-reliant, much more knowledgeable, probably much more tolerant if you're meeting lots of different cultures and peoples and so on, much more self-sufficient, and you have grown massively as a person. Whereas a person stepping over the puddle for you has just stepped over a puddle. and they'll probably still complain about getting their feet wet. So think about what I really want you to do in the future is to cross oceans for yourself, not for other people. Think about where you want to go and what you want to do and what you want to achieve. And a lot of those people that you've been crossing oceans for, I suspect will be the same person or the same few people all the time. They'll never ever appreciate what you've done for them. They may go and cross an ocean for somebody else, that's quite possible, and that's called forwarding it on. If you help one person, then they'll help somebody else and so on. And it is a good thing to do, but there still comes a point where actually you to think about yourself. So please, in the future, go and find an ocean that you want to cross, go for it, plan it properly, set it off, go and have fun, and really explore things about yourself and become a much better and a much stronger person. So I think you'll find it will be a fascinating experience and you'll really, really enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed that, something a little bit different today. Please do like my page, and I'd be very grateful. That would be fantastic. And then next Friday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to be talking about selling. And it's not quite selling as you think. Because as you know with these things, it's never quite what you expect, because that would be too boring, wouldn't it? I'm going to be exploring the origins of the word to sell. Actually, again, it's not quite what you think. I'm actually going to look at what selling really means in the way it was first intended. So I hope you'll find that interesting. I'm also offering, as a quick thank you, to say thank you for listening to my tips on video, a free ebook download. I've written an ebook called 12 Ways to Have More Guilt-Free Time with Your Family. So just go to the side of my Facebook page, click on the free ebook link, and you can download that. And I hope you enjoy it. If you like it, again, please share. So for those who don't know me, my name is Mandy Cran, and people come to me when they realise actually their health is important, if they want to have quality family time in the years ahead. So if that connects with you, then I'm offering a 20-minute free consultation with no obligation, where we sit down together, have a quick chat, and see if I can help you in some way. So if that is of any interest to you, then please message me on Facebook or email me at Mandy, with IE, at the Buzz Group Be More. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do join me next week at 10 o'clock on Facebook Live, and I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great week.